Well, obviously, you know, heading into postseason, you want to go on a high note. You want to be playing well and competing at a high level. And you know, it was definitely disappointing this past weekend to not finish the job. You know, and because we had good opportunities to get that done, and we didn't. And you know, but credit to WT, they played hard. And, you know, we played pretty well. You know, I can't complain with how we played. But you know, when you got somebody down, you got to keep them down, and we didn't do that. So it's going to be important for us to bounce back. You know, our match against Abilene tomorrow, Abilene's fighting for a spot in a regional. They have every opportunity to get in there, and if they get a win against the top 3 or 4 team in the region, they have a good shot. And so we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen at our expense. So we need to bounce back, you know, and build a bridge and get over it.
Coach, you just said the word bounce back. I was going to kind of ask you, are you afraid of any kind of a hangover effect from that game, or you think your players are mature enough to?
Of course, you're always afraid of it. You know, you don't want that to happen. I hope that we're mature enough to know that we've got more things to do. We've got 3 matches this week, and you don't want to stumble at the end of the year. You want to, you know, pick yourself up and do it right. So we'll talk about that and train that way in practice today, and go up to Abilene and give it our best.
And Coach, I know you probably don't want to look ahead to the conference tournament right now, but I mean, you know, they say it's always hard to beat any team 3 times in a season. So I mean, you know, if you're able to come back and beat West Texas, say, in the conference tournament championship, you know, that would be a sweet deal for you, obviously.
Well, sure, but we're going to have to beat 3 teams 3 times in order for us to do that. So there's a lot ahead of us before then, and we don't even know who we're going to play, because the conference right now is so unpredictable. Who's going to fill in what spot? I think you know, 3 through 8 are still up in the air. Who's going to be where? Who's going to do what? So you know, it doesn't make any sense for me to think about that, because I don't know who we're going to play. I don't know what time we're going to play. You know, all I know is probably where we're going to play. That's about it right now. So it doesn't, you know, it doesn't do us any good to do that.
We'll talk about the last time you played Abilene Christian, you know, here, and you know, how well you played in that one, and you know, what do you think you need to focus on going into tomorrow?
Well, there, you know, I said before that game, it doesn't matter who's where. It's always going to be a good match. You know, it's at their place, and they play well there, and you know, they have a lot riding on it, so they're going to play hard. They're going to play to win, and I expect a tough match. I really do. I expect them to come out and play hard, and you know, with expectations of winning. So our kids have to be ready for that. When we played here, you know, we were up and down. It was a roller coaster game. When we played well, we won. When we made, you know, a bunch of errors, we lost. So we've got to really do a better job of controlling our side of the net a little bit, and making things a little more difficult for them.
I guess it's kind of nice to have your last 2 games at home. Obviously, you want to play well in front of your home crowd. I guess Coach just talked about the last 2 home games after this road trip tomorrow.
Well, you know, it's we didn't have any seniors last year, you know, and so we didn't have senior night, and you know, we got to sit through a lot of other people's senior nights last year, but we haven't had to do that this year, and we won't this year. We won't have to sit through anybody's senior night at all, except for our own, because Abilene, they have 2 matches at home this weekend as well. So, you know, it's nice to not have to do that, but at the same time, it's going to be hard. You know, those are emotional nights. You know, they're emotional for those kids and for myself and for the whole team, because you're saying goodbye to something that's really been a building block, a foundation for our team, you know, for a lot of years. And you know, that's a challenge to get over that emotionally. And some kids respond to it really well, and they play the match of their lives, and some kids don't. It gets them down. So we've got to be ready to play. I expect it to be a tough match.
Can we get you to pick apart the seniors a little bit, the 3 seniors, just what each one individually have meant to the program?
Well, you know, Celeste is a first-year player here, but she's still a senior, and she's come in and given us that banger on the left side, that terminal player, the kid that comes in and just gets tough kills for you in tough situations, you know. And we've been missing that for the past couple of years, so it's nice to have that on the left side. So that's a huge piece of our puzzle. Debbie's the same thing, but on the right side. You know, she's a strong player. She's a 6 rotation player for us right now. You know, she's a 2-year player. She was a junior college transfer, and but she plays steady volleyball. You know, and does a lot of the little things which help make us successful. And Kayla, she's my first 4-year kid. You know, this is my 4th year. She was a freshman my first year, and she's our rock. You know, she's a leader on the team. She's the kid you go to when you need something done, and she's played great for us this year. She's, you know, she digs as many balls, only playing half the time as some kids do that play 6-full rotations on other teams. You know, so she's been an integral part of our success this year, and you know, both on and off the court. So those 3 kids have really been huge pieces, along with, you know, with all the other kids we have. So we'll definitely miss them when they're gone, but we hope to have a few more matches with them after this weekend.